who use brain control weapons in America and the countries of Europe and their friends, and why these countries only are a target also in Iraq, why all the victims of these weapons are friends of these countries only while nothing happens to those who are enemies of these countries anything at all. From the stories of the victims of these weapons in those countries, and I had to hear them all, although I know that they are absolutely incorrect words and issued by a victim who does not know anything about anything, or that the gang has destroyed his mind, or it is issued by people who do not have any knowledge of anything and have found this subject as something in order to talk about it. Or they are stupid, or they are already suffering from mental illness. Or the gang used with them its unusual methods of swindling and fraud, and it has specialized carders and professionals in all kinds of swindling, lying and forgery, and also using very advanced technology, whether with these weapons or the internet, and also they made the Church of the Bible place them. Also, the way this gang operates is an intelligence method, which is why we find that many of the victims thought that they were a security party, while they were not at all like this. But their method is this everywhere. Also, they always want to make the victim believe that the army, for example, or the security forces, is the one who did this, and the reason for this is that the aim of the gang in America and the countries of Europe and their friends is to spread chaos, sabotage the law, remove confidence among people, make them not trust the other and sow hatred among them. Of course, the reason is that this gang 1. They are not a gang of thieves in America, and there's also a gang of thieves in Canada, for example, etc. Rather, they are one organization, and the person who leads them is a dirty terrorist inside Iraq who made himself a prophet in the Bible church, and this despicable one seeks only evil. Of course, I know that there are those who do not want to hear this truth and want to open their mouth like a raven to call a lie against the security apparatus or the armies in the states only. While the truth is as clear as the sun, it means fools who, for example, believe that the key have a role, or the army or security services. These people will close their eyes when they see victims of America's friends and European countries inside Iraq fall in the same way and the same way. Of course, this fact will know even a child who does not understand anything. He will know that it is one gang and not at all any side inside America. Means any gang must differ from another gang, while this does not make any difference at all. Also, I have a lot of evidence that fully prove that they are a network led by terrorism in Iraq. I mean, for example, we know that there were victims who immigrated from China to Canada. But they did not get rid of it all, and the reason is not the army and security apparatus in Canada nor the government there. Nor is the gang using the internet to reach the victims, but the reason is the presence of the elements of this gang in Canada, and these are hidden from view and also have no allegiance to Canada at all, but rather they obey the orders of their leader only. I mean, if he gives them orders to kill the security services, the army, or any Canadian citizen, or sabotage the economy of Canada or create chaos in it, they will be executed. Here they are the ones who will pursue those who fled from China to Canada in Canada. 2. That, of course, all the victims were implanted, so that the gang could easily know their whereabouts. This is the truth that I am very sure that there is someone who does not want to hear it. Of course, a person's mistake is something known, but after learning that he has sinned, he either apologizes or corrects the mistake. For example, he thought that the army left all its work and no longer has any work to pursue him only and spend money in such a matter. Perhaps he thought that he was Sherlock Holmes and the army would stop working if he did not agree to work with him, or that the governments or armies in America and European countries no longer have any people with military college degrees. Nothing remained but this stupid victim who did not understand anything, and they pursued him in order to work with them. I mean, I know that there are many brothers in America and the countries of Europe, and their friends are leaders and people who are not at all normal in everything, whether in terms of the state leadership or the military leadership. How can one of them run after a very stupid victim or an ordinary person? This victim has reached the level of stupid so that he does not know even who planted the chip on him. Of course, this is one of the tricks of this gang in playing with the victims so that they make them think that it is a very important thing and also make them think that very important personalities talk to them through the internet or even through other tricks such as the victim's family and those you know, and also through V2K, hearing voices etc. An important note before completing the conversation is that I very much encourage the victims to publish videos in a clear and detailed way. Even if they do not know anything, they do not know how to hear the sounds etc. But the first benefit of this is to know. 3. The victims are very fools or idiots. Terrorism is not a gang that rides donkeys, walks bare feet, and puts sleeves instead of clothes, and everyone has a sword, which is his only weapon. Rather, they know that terrorism has become the superpower and possesses very advanced technology. I am saying this to idiots who may think that brain control weapons only exist in the country they are in when they hear a scientific experiment licensed for the purposes of serving humans only. While the truth is that terrorism in Iraq has many mercenary scientists and brain control weapons have been developed in a way that exceeds all European countries that cannot even detect them. This is the truth. It means a stupid victim in America who thinks that the army is the reason for what happened to him when he saw a video from Iraq, which is a copy. The exact copy of what happened to him, or he sees victims from China fleeing from it for the same reason. This will let him know he was wrong. Here I want to tell you something. Believe me, although I consider America, the countries of Europe, and their friends to be my brother, and I knew from the beginning that terrorism is behind what is happening. But I am speaking in a very neutral manner and I want to give evidence to you and not to me. I don't need any evidence, and I know my brothers in the US Army, brotherly armies in European countries, and they're good friends. They do not have more love for their country and their people, and they sacrifice themselves for the sake of people's safety. I knew there was a game, and I am just trying to shed light on such a topic.
Man here expects to be attacked by soldiers?
Kill them all! Kill them all! Kill them all! Nobody must escape! Kill everybody!
Liang Shanpo stole everything, it says. They struck again and again.
Kill them! Kill every last man! Kill them!
Right, attack! Sooner or later, Lin Zhong would hear of it.
So, yet another of them. Young Jean-Paul, of course, gets the blame for it. We'll teach them a lesson.
Let's catch the rats. We'll take the money away from them in our turn. Except that we'll return it to the farms.
Of course. How do we go about finding out who's behind all this, huh? We'll need to follow a raiding party.
We want to find out why they're using the name of Liang Shanpo. There's some reason. There must be. Then let's go and discover it.
I've nothing against you personally, except you're a killer using our flag.
Wait! We can question him. He'll have the answers. Who's behind this?
No! Don't kill me! Tell you everything. Let me get out, please!
Well, all right. Out with it, quick. Who are your leaders?
They are...
Nothing against you personally, except you're a killer using our flag.
Wait! We can question him. He'll have the answers. Who's behind this?
No! Don't kill me. Tell you everything. Let me get out, please.
Well, all right. Out with it, quick. Who are your leaders?
They are.
For Act 1 look, victim, at this passage of the video, did you know that you are like the person who was beaten and he does not know who did this to him? Instead of looking for a reason, he will strike others who have absolutely no guilt about what happened to him. This is very similar to you when you press charges against the army, the security services, or other parties, or people who have nothing to do with what happened to you. Of course, this is also exactly what the gang wants.
Step over here, let me ask you a question if you can help me.
The setting, a farmer's market in Columbus, New Jersey. Inside, a woman shopping for produce with her baby. She's under surveillance by this man. He stays outside hoping the woman won't spot him. He solicits help from random shoppers.
Ma'am, excuse me. I'm a recovery agent.
He tells them he's a recovery agent, a fancy term for bounty hunter, and he needs help capturing the woman inside.
Let me show you a picture. Hold on. I'm trying to ID somebody inside there with a blue jacket. Do you see the woman I'm talking about?
And shoppers seem to want to help.
Yeah.
Have you ever used handcuffs?
No. I'd sooner grab her and put her down.
The bounty hunter needs positive ID and asks a shopper to take the wallet from the woman inside.
If she walks away from that carriage and you see the wallet, just pick it up and walk it out to me, okay?
You're a cop, so I'm not going to get in trouble?
Let me show. Come over here.
Okay.
All right.
This is what our bounty hunter flashes, a badge we bought online, no questions asked, and it offers no legal authority. The bounty hunter, his name is George, and he agreed to ask people to do things he normally wouldn't. The woman inside, she's Tracy, an actress playing the role of a mother who may have kidnapped her baby from the father. Will the shopper follow the command of an authority figure and actually take Tracy's wallet? She goes inside the fruit stand, and when Tracy turns her back, she swipes her wallet and brings it back to the man with the badge. Now, why in the world would anyone follow the orders of a stranger?
I said, I'll take her down. I'll just throw her down.
What's the lesson? Did you learn something here?
Yeah.
Auto driver Islampur Dishpalli, Nizamabad. A5 Godmi Ganesh, 28 years. తర్వాత ఈయన రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంద్రాపూర్ కాలనీ నిజామాబాద్. Yes, Sheikh Kaiser, age 30 years.
And that also, we notice here a victim from China who fled to another country, but as I said in this matter, the reason for her not surviving is not at all the state of Canada, the government, the security or the army, but the presence of the elements of this gang, and they are one network that is led from Iraq.
He broke down. Even though they migrated to Canada, they can't get anywhere. They're politically safe, but these dark technologies still aftering you, no matter where you are. He broke down. Even though they migrated to Canada, they can't get anywhere. They're politically safe, but these dark technologies still aftering you, no matter where you are. What can I say? That's foolish, right? You're running right back to the mouth of the tiger or something. They're not. When you're begging the devil, he's not going to have pity on you. So I make my stand, and I wish. I guess is it won't surprise me. It's over millions and millions of people. Yeah. Given the fact that the culture here is suppressive, nobody's tell anything. You know, when they're abused, a lot of them just kept silence, and they're mind control into keeping their silence. And if you don't, they do things to hurt you, like my father. When I came back, my father he can't speak here. He's a retired teacher. He's skin to bone and in a terrible shape. There are people taking care of him. I mean, he's not starving anything, really. It's here. And
10 Act. Now I give you another truth, which is that this organization is something similar to the inhabitants of the destructive movie that has turned into a virus army in the Church of the Bible. And those, as I said, do not have any experience, nor did they ask for the assistance of the coalition forces in Iraq in order to verify this terrorist or find out information about him. This behavior was a very terrible mistake because all that this organization or branch in Iraq did was attacks against the coalition forces, as well as setting up gangs to kill America's friends and the countries of Europe in Iraq and inciting people here against these countries. This is what the Voice of God organization did, and this Satan, its leader in Iraq, made himself a prophet. I mean, the money and privileges obtained by this branch were all used to serve terrorism only, and no poor were helped. It is more funny that such money, for example, came from France and it is donations from the people, but what happened is that it was given to everyone who becomes an enemy of France and the European countries in Iraq. Of course, all this happened, and as for the management of this organization, they sleep in underground tunnels and hear nothing, but only from the mouth of this terrorist who was given authority in Iraq, and this is a cursed terrorist demon. And more than that, this demon has become the leader or the one who gives God's directions to them, and it was the first lie is that God is against America, European countries and their friends. And these idiots prostrated to such commands. Here we see that the WMD attacks are one of dozens of methods. 11 Atu is used by terrorism, but it is the simplest. Those who brought this traitor who claimed to be fenced off while he was a terrorist were the ones who brought thorns and made him in the middle of the flowers. I mean, do you know that I personally asked one day from the Greenpeace to open a branch for them in Iraq, but they refused, and the reason for the rejection was correct, which is that Iraq is a country she lived for centuries in the dark, and it took a lot of time for the people to develop, of course, on the condition of the presence of its brothers, the coalition countries. I mean, it is difficult to find people who recognize the right of flamenco birds to live, for example, in Iraq, or the right of badgers, for example. On the other hand, we see that this organization gave accreditation, and it was a very fatal mistake. They brought an enemy to America and the countries of Europe and made him in the midst of them, but more than this they made him a prophet. It came from terrorism. I don't want to open another topic, but what happened in the attacks against France, Belgium, America, England, Russia, the countries of Yugoslavia and Ireland, etc., all were the same Satan who gave orders that he said was from God. It is also funny that this devil, despite all this, wants to remain. Something funny also wants to attach himself to the fabric and also say it is the command of the Holy Spirit or play it. 12 that he is married to a filthy, impure woman like him in Iraq, and she is with a homosexual devil who leads or tries to throw responsibility on the heads of idiots among the victims of choice in Iraq who are either very stupid or suffering from mental illness and schizophrenia, or from the very poor, or from he considers them an enemy to him. He went on and made them like a pillar on which only a camera was placed, but rather just bodies that he exploits, and is completely like Satan in the film The End of Days when he enters the bodies of others to be exploited here by the victims of the same choice. They understand that even if they are friends of America and European countries, this is useless because they are just as scared of birds. No matter what they speak, no one of them will take a single word. But this is the devil of Iraq trying to make them a peg for his mistakes. He leaves everything. For example, he is trying to throw his officials to strike the coalition countries in Iraq on the victims of choice because they live in the house of their families, or when the district of pardon or wiped out. This is the Dornier area in Iraq, and those around them are the ones who gave such orders. It means that this is the most ridiculous farce at all. It means this terrorist organization in Iraq is like an evil cloud that only rains evil, but it only follows the victims of choice without having any authority over it or anything. It just means that the victim eats something or drinks. This cloud of evil comes in order to set up terror gangs led by this devil, also just for the victim to speak or think or take some money or any item or live in his family's filthy house. 13. Act 1 of the shame of this devil in Iraq, which does not benefit him until the victim declares that she is nothing, as he will remain like a cat lying in wait here. This Satan tries to remain and continues to deceive those who gave him credit and make them believe that he was only implementing the laws while this terrorist demon laughed at them. They are the one who gave him secrets that he is a traitor to a terrorist and he bears the full responsibility. As for his lie that he puts the responsibility on the victims of choice, it is a dirty game from this terrorist. The organization, not even a quarter, and they do not have any followers, and no one takes orders from them as well. A lie. Imitating their actions is a game too. I mean, if he said the victim should become Iraq with the coalition countries, for example, then no one will imitate this. I mean, is there someone who imitates another person and he does not take words from him? Of course. No. Here we see that the victims of the choice are only scapegoats or mistakes. I mean, we have become at the mercy of a devil, he and his dirty wife from Iraq, and with her a homosexual. These dirty are the ones who control. I mean, a drop of blood of a brute victim of these terrorist acts is equivalent to this devil and his wife and homosexual 1,000,000 times. I tell you something about me, which is that I am not a chosen one, neither am I from any Bible church nor an organization with me, nor am I a tribe leader in Iraq. And I am just a simple person, but I am the enemy of this devil.
Frank, anyway. She gave you the desire to live. All right, I'll tell you what to do. Not merely live, but become rich, governor of an entire province.
Me, a governor? How? Tell me how.
Liang Shanpo must fall. With you, I'll take it.
And I'll have to betray my own men?
Exactly. Liang Shanpo's whole defense system. You'll devise a plan to lead my soldiers in. You'll show me how to defeat your men. You'll do this within 3 days. I swear.
Your men will question you now.